confusion, anger, and a profound sense of injustice. I'm sure this is the prevailing mood among many football fans worldwide, especially in the English Premier League, when discussing the 115 allegations against Manchester City. Of course, we need to exclude fans from the blue half of Manchester from this, because unlike most football fans worldwide, those who support the citizens are certainly feeling quite anxious right now. Many have wondered why, despite facing hundreds of allegations, Pep Guardiola and his players have yet to face any formal hearing from European football authorities. This confusion is exacerbated by the fact that the English Football Association, FA, has been notably strict in penalizing other teams like Everton and Nottingham Forest. Ultimately, people are left questioning why the Premier League and other football authorities in England have yet to act on these many allegations. However, it seems that football fans around the world have just received the most accurate and specific answers to these issues. Richard Masters, the current CEO of the Premier League, recently provided football fans worldwide with detailed and updated information on the 115 allegations against Manchester City. Welcome to the Football News Channel. Right now, let's delve into this breaking news. Speaking about the past violations of the blue half of Manchester, it's known that the Etihad-based club's transgressions spanned over 9 years, starting in 2009, just a year after Sheikh Mansour bought the club in 2008. This continued until 2018, when an investigation into the club and the Premier League took place. In February 2023, the FFB announced the list of allegations and ramped up the investigation against the current champions of England. According to the well-known sports news site in the UK, Give Me Sport, a detailed article was published outlining the specific violations that Manchester City is accused of. The club is alleged to have committed offences in 5 fundamental areas. First, they failed to provide comprehensive and accurate financial transparency from 2009 to 2018. Second, they were dishonest in their financial reports regarding player and coach salaries. Third, they did not meet UEFA's principles regarding sustainability and financial fairness for many years. Fourth, they provided ambiguous data on the club's profits over nearly 10 years, including prize money from competitions they participated in and sponsorships. Lastly, Manchester City is also accused of intentionally obstructing the investigation by the FA and other relevant authorities. It's known that in these 5 major transgressions, the current Premier League champions are said to have intentionally violated multiple times. According to Give Me Sport, in the first violation alone, the blue half of Manchester is accused of breaching regulations 54 times. Among these allegations, Manchester City responded in notable ways. They stated, "Manchester City is very surprised to face allegations of financial fair play violations. The club welcomes an independent committee to objectively investigate all the evidence against us, providing a chance for us to refute these allegations. Therefore, we hope the issue is resolved as soon as possible, once and for all." Manchester City will have the opportunity to defend themselves in a hearing overseen by an independent panel, in what is considered the biggest financial violation case in the league's history. According to the Daily Mail, Manchester City's hearing might take place at the end of this autumn, nearly a year and a half after the financial violation allegations were made public. However, this hearing will be conducted in secrecy. Premier League rules state that all decisions before an independent committee are to be held in private and cannot be publicly disclosed in the media. This is believed to benefit both Manchester City and Manchester United. A public hearing could create more issues and potentially lead to unintended consequences, so no one will be allowed to report from the hearing, and those interested in the case will only know the final outcome when it's announced on the Premier League's official website. For quite some time, both the Premier League and FA remained silent on the 115 allegations against Manchester City. However, during a press briefing at the European League's Friday meeting, Premier League CEO Richard Masters surprised and thrilled many football fans in the UK by announcing that a hearing for the FA Cup champions will take place soon. The English CEO stated, I can confirm to everyone that the hearing for the 115 allegations against Manchester City will take place soon. The Premier League and FA have prepared as best as possible for this. The hearing is scheduled for either October or November this year, and we need a few months to evaluate everything. Therefore, the results will be announced early next year. I believe the matter will be resolved by January 2025. During the same press conference, Master also addressed why the Premier League delayed holding the hearing with Manchester City. He said, "I understand the disappointment among fans about our delay in investigating and addressing the matter. But these are 115 allegations, and we have a lot of different tasks. If any club is found violating the financial fair play rules of 2023, we will quickly investigate and address them, just like with Everton or Nottingham Forest. However, the volume and complexity of the allegations against Manchester City are substantial, requiring the Premier League's leadership team time to thoroughly investigate and verify them." 115 financial violations. This is not a trivial number and takes a lot of time and effort to investigate and verify for the Premier League. Throughout the period of allegations, Manchester City has maintained a stance that they are innocent and have refuted all allegations against them. However, the blue half of Manchester won't be able to make any additional appeals to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, where they previously succeeded in overturning a UEFA-imposed ban from the Champions League due to an earlier violation. While there's no definitive information on what penalties Pep Guardiola and his players might face if officially sanctioned by the FA, football fans worldwide can look at the examples of Everton and Nottingham Forest to imagine a scenario where the kings of English football for over a decade could be docked points this season due to their violations. Given the seriousness of the allegations, Manchester City might face more severe point deductions than the aforementioned teams. Furthermore, reputable football experts in the Premier League speculate that Pep Guardiola and his star-studded squad, including Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, and Jack, may have to return their Premier League titles from the past 3 seasons. Worse yet, many believe that the citizens could be relegated. Indeed, the penalties Manchester City might face are among the heaviest FFB has ever imposed. According to prominent UK news outlets, FFB has the authority to impose various sanctions for any team showing signs of violation. Besides point deductions, stripping of titles, and relegation, FFB can apply lighter penalties like warnings, fines, loss of revenue from tournament participation, club registration bans, disqualification from tournaments, or bans from future competitions. The anxiety and fear felt by Manchester City fans are palpable. Nonetheless, as they await the next developments in this story, the blue half of Manchester continues to focus on the fierce competition in the Premier League this season. Recently, Pep Guardiola's squad defeated Brighton 4-0 on Thursday night to climb to second place in the league table, just 1 point behind leaders Arsenal, with 1 game in hand. The door for Pep and his players to lift their 4th consecutive Premier League trophy seems brighter than ever, and at this moment, Manchester City's most passionate fans are hoping that their team stays resolute through the anticipated challenges. This upcoming November will be crucial for Manchester City. If they can defend themselves in the hearing before the independent committee, Manchester City will remain a powerhouse in the Premier League. However, if they are found guilty, one of the worst scenarios they could face is losing all the glory they have achieved over the years, rendering all of Pep's and his players' hard work meaningless. We now await to see what will happen with Manchester City in the near future, specifically in November of this year.